Guerra Civil está nos cinemas, o filme muito esperado do Alex Garland com Wagner Moura e também com a CAILEE spaeny. A gente recebeu ela aqui no estúdio no Omelete para falar um pouquinho aí sobre os bastidores.
I'm so happy to be here. It's such a pleasure.
I have some pictures here to Honor Lee and Jesse. I'd like you to share with us a little bit of behind the scenes about this. The first one is from the beginning of the movie. What was it like to shoot this one?
I think this might have been my first day on set. And it required a massive stunt and explosive. I think we only had one take to get this done. I'm not exactly sure, but the reset would have been almost impossible to do. So this is the moment right after I meet Kirsten's character, and this is where the stunt guys really came in. I remember one stunt guy flipping on to this car, and it was kind of incredible. But yeah, this is my first day. This is my first day on set. This is pretty intense. We hit the ground running with a major stunt and explosive, which sort of informed the rest of the film. There was no off days on this movie, and the fact that this was the first one is wild. I remember I was so nervous, and right before the bomb goes off, I'm sort of doing this scene with Kirsten where I'm fangirling, and I remember thinking, wow, I've got so much nerves running through my body, but I just sort of used it for the scene. And I had also looked up to Kirsten Dunst's work for so long, so it was easy for me to do it because I was, it's not hard for me to fangirl over Kirsten Dunst. So
I have this one of Stephen. And every video that I see about you promoting the movie, you always say how amazing he is.
Everyone A24 said that it's so funny watching us do press for this movie, because anytime they ask us about Steven, we all go, oh, we love Steven. Steven's amazing. But it's true. He's one of a kind. I mean, I got to work with him in Devs, and we played sort of funny, odd best friends in Devs. And the first day I met him, I found out he's also from Missouri. So we had a sort of instant bond. And he's lived so much life, and he's worked on some of the greatest films, but he has a sort of childlike wonder to him, and he's constantly learning himself. And he never sort of looks down on anyone, or he teaches you lessons by the way he sees the world. He's just a beautiful soul, and I can't believe I've worked with him twice now.
And one of the most challenging scenes, I believe.
Yeah, this was the hardest scene to film in the movie. Yeah, that's my terrified face. Yeah, we shot this for 2 days in a row in Atlanta, and it was the most terrifying scene to read in the script. So the dialogue in that scene, the characters that are written, it was just such a carefully crafted scene that handles so much. We had an actor who was going to play the role that Jesse played, but they ended up dropping out last minute for scheduling reasons. And then Kirsten was like, well, Jesse's in town. He's, being dad. I could ask him and see what he says. And thank God Jesse said yes, because he's a brilliant actor, and he stepped into this role, and I feel bad that he had to play a role like this, but we needed this scene to really hit. And it was it's a turning point. It's the thing that leads us into the third act. And he was absolutely fucking terrifying in it.
He's terrifying, but he seems to make it, he makes it look so easy to play.
Well, that's the thing that's so chilling, is how casual he is about the words that he's saying, just sort of rolls off his tongue. And I think that it was such a, intelligent way to play that character, but it's just, I mean, you hear these lines over and over again for 2 days straight, and it just gets under your skin. I mean, I know Wagner's talked about it in interviews, but when we wrapped it, and Wagner was he was broken, he laid down on the grass and was crying. You know, we were all just shells. And then the scene right after, which is when my character gets knocked into the mass grave, that was a last minute idea that was brought up by our incredible stunt choreographer. He came up to me, he's like, this is the idea. And I was like,
really?
It's a really good idea, but I really don't want to shoot that, you know? The top layer of bodies is all stunt guys. And they're like, well, that's okay. You can step on my face. That's whatever you need to do. And I'm crawling. So strange crawling over these real bodies. It was very, very weird, which was a lot of pressure, but probably helped in a weird way.
Speaking of pressure, I believe that going into the White House is not the real White House, but I believe that was something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is just off of my face, you see that Jesse's just sort of stepped into another zone. That sort of war junkie quality that Joel talks about and sort of embodies. Jesse's sort of stepping into that. And she obviously won't stop until she gets that shot, you know? So that this is a sort of good example of Jesse's progression at the end of the film. And then, yeah, here we are in the White House. This is Tyler Perry's studios, and he has, it's like 70% exact to the White House. So it was very weird to film the final act in the White House. Yeah, so this is towards the end of the movie. Yeah, it's interesting shooting chronologically. I feel like you sort of wear the scenes that you've played out before. So we've just done this scene a couple days before, and now we're here. And the intensity, people are like, how do you unwind? You just sort of don't. It just sort of informs the next scenes. So yeah, we were all pretty out of it. We were all a bit loopy by the time we were shooting the stuff inside the White House, but hopefully that serves the story.
All right, thank you, CAILEE. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
E você aí de casa, conta pra gente aí o que você espera se você já assistiu Guerra Civil, conta pra nós.